Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining me on my journey. My name is Bill. I'm new to YouTube and just starting it up and trying to figure it out. This video is today about technology and how much it's involved over the years. Yeah, I mean, it's when you get older, it's kind of hard to figure out this new technology that just keeps coming and coming. Um, your cell phones, you got basically the whole world in your hands now. So before that was so different, back in the day where nobody had phones, I mean, everything was totally different, you know. You can look up anything on a phone, but just trying to operate the phone is a different story, but trying to set up my YouTube channel and trying to, work around the, the technology. It's a little rough for me trying to get started. Thank goodness I have a daughter that helps me out a little bit, and she's, the kids of today are more more technical than, uh, you know, people from a long time ago. I mean, if you got the skills and you really get into it, that's great, I mean, because, like doing tests at work when I was working, um, we always had all these e-learning tests to do, and they were kind of difficult on the computer, all the time. I was in there for hours and make us test all the time, and I wasn't too good at the computer. I always needed somebody to help me. Just like doing the YouTube, I need my daughter to help me figure out things. It's difficult. It's difficult. YouTube, there's a lot of things to pay attention to, and how to make your thumbnails and description and all these things. Editing was really hard for me. It takes a lot of time. So I don't do a whole lot of editing, really. Trying to get my daughter to show me a little bit more. I've tried it. Like I said, it's not, it's kind of difficult for me. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of time to do, the thumbnail. I'm trying to work on that. But yeah, technical stuff is really hard on me. If you talk about phones and computers, I got a little list right here. It was 1973 when the first cell phone by Motorola came out. It was a commercial phone, and that went for $3,995. And then in 1983, they came out with more available to purchase by the public. I don't have a price on that one, but that was a little the first computer came out actually in 1942. But yeah, there's just it's got a lot better over the years, and everything's but when I was in school, they never taught that, because computers didn't exist really. It was all done on pencil and paper, tests and whatever else. Everything was done on pencil paper, just like the bank. You don't write checks no more. Well, some people do, but they kind of lean. When I went to do my checking one day, they pretty much advised me just to use a debit card, and not use checks, because those are going to be obsolete someday. But yeah, that's changed, and that gives scammers to scam your stuff, your card information. Back in the day when they just had checks, you didn't have these problems really. But now you got all kinds of scammers scamming your digital bank account, or trying to hack you somehow, whatever. But it seems like it's worse now since they went to, banking online and all these things. But yeah, it's just like I said, you get the whole world in your hands on that phone. I just need to do a little bit more, research and stuff like that, and trying to learn better on technology. It's been a real hard one for me. Both my daughters are really good on it, because they grew up in that era where they had to, they do it in school. Me, I couldn't do that in school. So it was always hard for me. I just, always worked labor jobs. So I really never had contact with too much computers or anything like that. But before I retired, it was like every 2 or 3 months they're making us do e-learning tests on the computer, and that took most of the day to do. I did not like doing that because it didn't even anything about my job really. It wasn't anything about my job really. So, but we still had to do it, and it was mandatory. But yeah, it's just the technology today is hard to figure it out. This is just a short video on, I get frustrated on, on making my videos, trying to put a thumbnail in, and, try to look at all the graphics they got and everything, and stuff like that. But, I don't have a computer really. We did a laptop, but it broke. So, hopefully I'll get one someday and I can do everything on the computer. It might be easier maybe. Like I said, I'm not too technical, so I'll probably still need my daughter's help. But yeah, this is a short video on technology and the way where it's going. I mean, for the older person, it's going to be hard. You can't figure it out. You push the wrong button, you're going to wipe yourself completely out if you don't know what you're doing, or lose your page, and then it's frustrating for me especially. But yeah, if you have something like this at home, or you're going through like the technology, and some of it's not safe, than it used to be. I think you just, like I said, you wrote checks, you didn't have to put your number out there online where it can get hacked, but just like your computer get hacked easily, and that's frustrating, when somebody, get a virus on it, or whatever the case is, and it's going to happen. It's not hard. It's kind of like difficult to, look at all the icons, and see where you're at, pushing buttons and everything. And I'm always the one that always pushed the wrong button. I just always push the wrong button. Everybody got frustrated with me, I think, a little bit. And this YouTube thing is kind of, it's kind of difficult if you don't know anything about technical stuff, and I really don't know anything. It wasn't for my daughter's help, I probably wouldn't have started this, because I didn't know, things. She started a channel before years ago, whatever, but she never stuck with it. But she knows the ropes of it a little bit. And I still need her help a lot of the times, but she's busy. And so just making a short video about technology and how much it's really, changed over the years. It's just changed. But yeah, it's been a rough road for me on being in technical. But I don't know, I just seem to go blank, when I got to do stuff on the computer, or even uploading my videos, going through all that, and checking the boxes. But that's okay. But getting into making thumbnails or doing anything too much, she gave me a couple apps to use where it's easier to make kind of a thumbnail, which isn't the greatest thumbnail, but I'll get better with it maybe. But it's easier for me. There's so many different kinds of things you can use, apps to help you out. But yeah, I'm just looking for something really easy that I don't have to take hours of editing or any of that stuff. Maybe a little edit in the back of the video at the end. But besides that, I need help, because I'll end up screwing the whole thing up. But yeah, that's just a little thing today about, how hard it is to, either get your stuff stolen or, off the internet, or just, you can't, really seem to get through, the technical parts of the computer or phone or whatever. I know it's a process, slow process for retired folks, trying to use their phone all the time on certain things. So that's what you got to do. You got to use your phone for, I use it for, even paying my bills online, because I don't have a check, or I use my debit card and call it in and pay it. I think they charge you a fee, I think, for that. But I guess it's faster to do it online. I guess, if you're behind or something, and you have to send a check in, that'll take longer, and then you could get turned off on utilities or something. But I guess having a debit card does work faster, but you're more prone to get scammed on it. Yeah, it is, and I've had a few times that somebody, tried to do that in the bank, have notified me about it. But yeah, it's hard to keep everything in line with technical. Like I said, back in the day, 70s, 80s, it was easy just to go to the bank, write a check, show your ID, get the money, or whatever you had to do. But now you take a chance if somebody's going to find your, identification, and try to, steal your information. But yeah, this is about technical. I'm trying to learn the best I can on this tech stuff. But yeah, leave in the comments below if you're having, if you're a YouTuber, or you're just starting off, or if you're just a regular person that has tech problems on how to figure things out and everything like that. And it kind of leaves you, in a hole, really, of learning anything. But yeah, this is just about tech stuff. But glad everybody stopped by and check out my videos. I really enjoy it. Please leave a comment, subscribe, give me a like. I really appreciate it. But that's about it today. But just stay safe out there, and God bless to everyone out there. Thank you for stopping by and checking out my video. I appreciate it. Bye.